Hello there, Coach Rosa Seward from Brickhouse Fitness here in Stafford, Virginia. Today I am going to make a vegan chicken strips. So for January 2025, we're doing no meat. And so today I have for you some King Trumpet Mushrooms. Yeah, you see what they look like? Okay. We're gonna cut those into chicken strips. We're going to be using some almond or coconut milk. We're going to be using some paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, Himalayan sea salt, avocado oil, and chickpea flour. So we're going to be trying to make sure that we make sure we get as much protein as possible in this meal. And this is going to be like chicken fingers or chicken strips, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I've got my oil. This is avocado oil. It's actually on right now, and it's a little bit too hot, so I'm going to take it off the burner for now while I prep all the food. So first things first, we're going to grab a knife. I'm just going to cut these into strips. I'm just going to do a few, and you can either cut the head off or leave it on, it doesn't matter. Alright, just cutting these into little strips. That should be enough. And now I'm going to actually take these. I'm gonna grab a bowl. You can pause it for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna put these in a bowl here. Cut some more of them up. Cutting them into strips. Putting them in our bowl. Got these from in Woodbridge, Virginia. The grocery store is called Fresh World. They've got like a plethora of fruits and vegetables, things that you wouldn't typically see in a regular grocery store. Okay, so I'm going to take that out of the way. We're done with that. We're done with that. And now I'm going to just season it. So I'm going to start with sea salt and just sprinkle some in there. You season it to taste. There are no measurements for this. All right. No measurements. Just use your own, that might be just enough. And then I'm going to put some black pepper on there. Sprinkling it on there. Again, just go by taste. You pretty much know what you like. There are no measurements. If I'm going to measure this, I probably would say 1 teaspoon of black pepper, but I like spicy, so just go for what you know. That should be enough. Then I'm going to use some garlic powder. And now mind you, we're using all of the powders. We're not using salt, so no garlic salt, no seasoning salt, because the sodium content is just way too high. If you are African American, if you're black, the standard is going to be 1,900 milligrams of sodium per day. Most people can have up to 2,400, but keep in mind that we need a little bit less because of our DNA, our ancestors, what we had to go through on the slave trips, on the slave ships. We're more prone to having high blood pressure due to high sodium. So we're gonna keep that a little light there for sodium. And then here we've got some onion powder. I use this stuff on everything. I use it on everything. So onion powder to taste. Again, we don't measure. If I'm going to measure, I would say probably about a tablespoon and then tossing that again. Then I've got some paprika. Again, no measurements. If I would measure it, I would probably say about a tablespoon of paprika too. Now, mind you, I have 2 packs of King Trumpet mushrooms here, so if you were going to use maybe 1 pack, it would be, which would be 3 mushrooms, then I would say 1 teaspoon. And again, I'm just going to toss it here. I want it to be nicely coated here. Again, as they say, let your ancestors guide you. All right, tossing that. Now, I am going to make a wet batter. So I'm going to have some chickpea flour. I think I've opened this before. I've got some chickpea flour here. And I'm going to take the same ingredients over here, chickpea flour. And then I'm going to put in the exact same ingredients that I've already put on the mushrooms. So I'm going to put some onion powder. I'm going to add some sea salt. I'm going to add some garlic powder. And some black pepper. So you see, I'm not measuring anything. You go with what you like. And then I'm going to finish that off with some paprika. All right. Now I'm going to just kind of shake it up. You can use your fingers, just shake it up. Just stir it up, just stir it. Stir both of them. All right. Stir them both. All right. Now to one of these, I'm going to add the coconut milk. And you can add almond milk, soy milk, whatever kind of plant-based milk that you like. You can add that. All right. Because we're going to be dredging this. So I'm going to grab a little fork over here. You can see there. I'm going to grab a fork, stir this up together. This is a quick meal. Stir this together. And you want it to have like a pancake batter consistency. So just add a little more chickpea flour. And again, this can be spelt flour. It can be any kind of protein, plant-based powder. So I'm using chickpea flour here. And just kind of stirring this. Dredge it. Stirring this. Yeah, that looks like the right consistency there. In a perfect world, you want to kind of let the mushrooms sit for a minute so that they can absorb all of that flavor that you put on there, all of the seasonings. But we're just going to go right for it because, again, we've got the seasonings on the mushroom. We've got the seasonings in the wet dredge. We've got the seasoning in the dry dredge. We've got our avocado oil here that's heating up. And I'm going to go ahead and take this, dredge it through the wet batter, then take it into the dry batter and put it right into the fryer. And that's nice and hot. So I can do more than a couple, more than one at a time. So just dredging it in, then into the dry, and placing that into the pan. Wet batter, dry batter, into the pan. Wet, dry, pan. And we just keep going that until the pan is full. I've got my productions here on camera, my trusty production crew of one, my husband Joe. Placing that there, and we've got a nice pan. I'm going to dry my fingers because they feel yucky. Go ahead and zoom in for me. some. Try to clean as you go. It gets messy, but that's okay. All right, so that is going to cook for approximately 3 minutes, and just until it's nice and crispy brown. And then, so we're going to go ahead and pause the video right now, and then we'll come back once we flip it and get ready to take it out. All right, here we go. We have already turned our chicken tenders over, and now we're going to take them out of the fryer, out of the pan. I'm going to put them over here on this little rack, baker's rack, and with some paper towel underneath. Let those get as much of that oil out as possible. When you're frying your food, you want to use an avocado oil. Try not to use like canola oil or vegetable oil, because those are oils that are heated to high temperatures to get the oil out of the plant. So it does not necessarily have the same properties as cold pressed oils like avocado oil. Okay, so we're going to just let those sit, and then we're going to go ahead and go through the second batch, and we're going to get ready to watch the Washington Redskins beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoff games. So thank you for joining me. Again, Coach Rosa Seward from Brick House Fitness here in Stafford, Virginia. Deuces. Peace out.